The video you're about to see is for historical purposes only. It is an almost daily snippet of 1010 Wins broadcast in New York City and the New York City metropolitan area. On my morning commute, I listened to this news broadcast and decided to share a snippet of the news for historical purposes. The mission is to record history.
And the Mets shut out again. Seventh time this year they haven't scored a run in a game. They lost to the Reds 5-0. Yankees lost to the Rays. Devils eliminated. Season over after losing to Carolina 3-2 in overtime. Very warm. Sun, clouds today. AccuWeather says 87. Wins News Time 8:01. It's traffic and transit time. Let's see how things are going. Karen Stewart.
We're going to the Bronx, southbound Major Deegan Expressway at the cross Bronx. We still have an accident blocking the right lane. And we've got delays, although not completely miserable. The wheels are turning, but that's about it. On the southbound Deegan into 95 from back at the McLean Avenue exit in Yonkers, and northbound from back at the RFK Triborough Bridge. The southbound New England Thruway has road work from exit 16 to Connor Street in the Bronx. We've got construction projects happening there. Eastbound Grand Central Parkway approaching LaGuardia. We've got an accident blocking the center lane. And we're pretty much jammed from back at the Citi Field exit. BQE westbound's miserable right now. Into Metropolitan Avenue from back at Northern Boulevard at Metropolitan. We've got a missing sewer grate, and the left lane is blocked. 45 minutes in and out of the GW Bridge as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. 30 in at the Lincoln and Holland Tunnel. And Long Island Railroad's on or close to schedule. NJT rail service in and out of Penn Station, operating with cancellations and 30-minute delays due to repairs at the Amtrak Portal Bridge. Rail tickets and passes cross-honored by NJ Transit buses, private carriers, and PATH trains at Newark Penn Station, Hoboken, and 33rd Street, Midtown. Alternate side of the street parking is in effect today. We're sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes around the clock. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Introducing the first ever all-electric Lexus. Experience the RZ450e, an electric SUV as only Lexus could imagine. Now here, schedule a test drive at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth.
Wins News Time 8:03. It's the first time in 3 years now the immigration policy known as Title 42 is no longer in effect. ABC's Jim Ryan at a gate in the fence separating the U.S. from Mexico when the pandemic-era policy expired overnight.
There was no siren sounded or whistle blown when Title 42 went away. Here at border fence Gate 40 just outside El Paso, nothing really changed at midnight Eastern Time. The gate is open, but Texas state troopers and Border Patrol agents are keeping people from passing through to the U.S. side. Officials on both sides of the border anticipate a surge in asylum seekers, many of whom think that the end of Title 42 means the end of deportation altogether. It does not. Jim Ryan, ABC News, along the border fence near El Paso.
And just hours before Title 42's expiration, House Republicans busy approving a bill that places new restrictions on asylum seekers.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said Republicans acted because President Biden did not.
The White House has 2 years to plan for the end of Title 42. We all knew the deadline, but the White House produced no plan, missed the deadline, and bumbled into another crisis.
The bill passed 219 to 213, with all present Democrats and 2 Republicans voting against it. It has almost no chance of making it through the Democratic-controlled Senate, and the president has already said he would veto it if it did.
Reporter Christopher Cruz. Now, the ACLU has sued the Biden administration over these asylum bans. They insist that people from other countries have a legal right to seek asylum if they're fleeing persecution in their native country. We've learned that additional buses of migrants are on their way to our area. In fact, another at the Port Authority bus terminal this morning, believed to have 30 to 40 asylum seekers on board that bus. And the Marine veteran involved in the chokehold of Jordan Neely now facing manslaughter charges.
24-year-old Daniel Penny expected to walk out of the 5th precinct sometime this morning. He'll then head to court to face second-degree manslaughter charges in the death of 30-year-old Jordan Neely on a subway nearly 2 weeks ago. Video showed the Marine veteran putting Neely in a chokehold for several minutes after he apparently yelled at passengers. Neely, who was homeless, had a documented history of mental illness. It's ignited protests calling for more mental health health resources as well as for Penny's arrest. His attorney issuing a statement saying in part that Penny, quote, stepped in to protect himself and his fellow New Yorkers. His well-being was not assured. He risked his own life and safety for the good of his fellow passengers. But Neely's family issuing their own statement attacking Penny, saying his words and actions show why he needs to be in prison. They will be holding a press conference later today. Samantha Liebman, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at the 5th Precinct Station House.
Following right up on Samantha Liebman's report there, we have learned that Penny has now turned himself in at the 5th Precinct to face again manslaughter in the second degree. Today with 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM as this story continues to unfold. As you heard Sam say, Neely's family and attorneys will be holding a press conference at 11 this morning, and Jordan Neely's funeral is set for next Friday, so a week from today in Harlem. The Reverend Al Sharpton will be delivering the eulogy. Suffolk County police officer recovering this morning after being shot yesterday afternoon in Coram.
The Suffolk County police officer is a father of a 17-month-old and is engaged to be married. The 6-year veteran of the force is recovering at Stony Brook University Hospital after being shot in the upper thigh. The police commissioner, Rodney Harrison, says that suspect, 20-year-old Janelle Funderburk, is a gang member who was under surveillance by officers in Coram.
2 tourniquets were applied by his fellow officers, which doctors indicated stopped him from bleeding out.
He was rushed to the hospital in a police vehicle. Funderburk is set to be arraigned in court. He's charged with attempted murder. 1 year ago, Funderburk was pulled from a burning vehicle by police officers in Deer Park after a car accident. Here is Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone.
We don't see 99% of the work that is happening out there by these police officers.
Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Stony Brook, Long Island.
It's news time 8:07 with the sun. We've just bumped up to 69 already on our way to 87. Very mild today. Low 90s. Inland Jersey suburbs. Long Island, Jersey Shore, you're going to be in the 70s because, again, of the water temperature still being in the 50s right now. Very mild again. Increasing clouds tonight. 68 in the city, 60 in the suburbs, 79 tomorrow. Mother's Day looks beautiful. Pleasant, low humidity, 73. That's right really where we should be this time of year. Sunshine, 72 for Monday. Documentary now is out in theaters today, looking at the life and times and accomplishments of the baseball icon, would be Yogi Berra.
It's about